Hello, hello. Welcome to this edition of Wellness Wednesday. Let me just get myself sorted here on all systems. Okay. Have you ever had really disempowering thoughts around an outcome, around yourself? Like maybe things go through your mind and you're saying things like, if I was thinner, I'd be happier. Or if I was just a little bit smarter, I'd get that job. Or if I was pretty, I'd get that ideal partner. Things like that that go through your mind. Today, we're talking about how to release our grip and how to love on ourselves some more. I have had this conversation with many, particularly women, over the past week regarding their perception of themselves, particularly in a physical sense, particularly with coming out of lockdown that a lot of us are facing right now, and a lot of stuff's coming up. I shared a infographic about the stages of like coming out of your activewear. At 70%, we're activewear all the time, like all of these different things. And it's been so true. Like so many of us have been living in activewear, and then I know it comes to a point where we're ready to get out in the world. And a lot of my clients have joked with me like, how do I talk to people? I don't know what to say. All of these fears coming up because things are changing again. So I want to share with you some tips of how you can start to release your grip and stop focusing on the outcome so much and being more present, being grateful for what you have right now. And it's taken me something, like earth shattering to really tune into what I feel grateful for and what's happening in my life. Yeah, we all have challenges that we're facing. We're all human, right? But it's about the way that we respond to this. So have you ever gripped to something so much that it's consumed everything? Like you're just so focused on this one outcome out here that you're just failing to be present in the now. This is what gripping is. It's gripping to something out here going, when I lose that weight, when I lose that 10 kilos, when I'm happier, when I've got more energy, I'll exercise. When I'm more flexible, I'll do yoga. Like all of these things that we say, are gripping to things. So I want to give you some tips in some ways that we can actually release the grip and actually start to love on ourselves a little bit more. Now, we do it in many, many different areas of our life, gripping to outcomes. But I really want to focus in on our bodies and how we're gripping to outcomes of how we perceive and expect that our body should look, feel, be, etc. Now, perhaps you're finding yourself emotionally eating, perhaps you're struggling with sleep, perhaps you're exercising less, like all of these things. Maybe you've been doing these things before, but you're not doing them, or you're not doing them as well, or maybe you're not getting the outcomes that you want. So maybe noticing changes with putting things on when you go into your wardrobe, like things are feeling differently. So how do we release that grip? How do we love on ourselves some more? Because honestly, guys, compassion and love starts with giving us it to ourselves and then being able to give that on to others. Like do unto you, do unto others. Like it's the same thing. So there are 3 tips that I want to share with you. Remembering this is a slice of life, honoring the gripping or the disempowering thoughts, and thirdly, practicing releasing your grip. So I spoke about realizing this is a slice of life a couple of weeks ago. Nothing is constant. The only constant that we have is change. So remember, we can't change the past. It's in our head. We can influence the future slightly by what we do in the present. So it's so important that we focus on the present, the small steps, mainly about being the person we're being. So be gentle on yourself. Remind yourself that this is simply a slice of life that I'm going through right now. Maybe it's a great slice of life and you're like, I'm kicking lots of my goals. I'm really loving on my body. Awesome. This is validation. This can be some support for if you do go through these stages of gripping and maybe not loving on your body as much. But it's really good to come back to this, or maybe it's a different area of your life that you can apply this to. So I choose to honor this. So when we notice we're in this slice of life, just being like, okay, I choose to honor this, and I release my grip on what was. So we can look back at how things were pre-COVID, or how things were pre-wedding or pre-kids. Like all of these things we can grip to of how we want things to be because we feel that they were better back then for some reason. So that's the first thing, honoring this slice of life. Okay, I realize this is a slice of life. Nothing is constant, only change. Secondly, let's honor the gripping or the disempowering thoughts. I've had this conversation with so many of my beautiful clients around too often we push down the less empowering emotions. And we'll say good or bad because they're all there for a purpose. We push them down and we push the thoughts down. And just like the beach ball analogy, the more that we're pushing them down into the water, we push the beach ball down into the water, the quicker, the more force it pops back up and smacks us in the face with. This is the same with our less empowering emotions. So there's so much force and so much energy behind these emotions when they eventually do arise. So instead of pushing them down, I'm going to give you some prompts to follow. Now, if you are part of my mailing list, you'll have the blog, you'll see this. I've got all of the questions inside the blog, so make sure you subscribe to my mailing list. Also got a super exciting announcement because I have launched my free ebook, Herbs for Healing, for you guys. It's a 7-page guide on the top 3 powerhouse herbs that I absolutely love for healing. This is like a side note, but I just thought of that, like when you do join my community, my mailing list, you'll also get my free ebook. I literally launched it this afternoon, so you're hearing it first right here. So head over to Linktree. All the information should be in there. Okay, so actually, no, I need to put the link in there. I just remembered. Okay, so let's look at these journaling prompts that you can do, like honor the gripping, honor the disempowering thoughts. So what thoughts are being played on repeat right now? Write them down. If you want to do this now, feel free to do this as we go through. So what thoughts are being played on repeat right now? Write them down. What disempowering, gripping thoughts? Like what are you gripping to? So once you do like the thought, then it's like, okay, where am I noticing this discomfort in my body right now? Where do I feel it? What color is it? Is it a weather system? Write it down, really get like detailed, get really curious like a scientist or a kid, like you're really exploring these emotions, and it takes like the energy away from it when we do that. And then thirdly, ask this little part of your body that's scared or gripping or, struggling with the emotions. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to tell me? Little part. And then what do you need right now? Maybe to start with, there'll be a lot of noise and you won't be able to hear, or maybe not. But I encourage you to close down your eyes and just think, what are you trying to say and what do you need from me right now? And just listen. Notice what comes up and go with the first thought that comes up and go with that and action that. So thirdly, let's practice releasing our grip. Now, there are so many practices that we can do that are forcing us to surrender. So things like dancing, letting it go, yin yoga, massage, like you just really got to surrender those muscles into the table while you're getting poked and prodded in those sensitive spots. There's, sex, self-pleasure, like practicing surrendering to the outcome, not focusing on that goal out there, just surrendering and being in the now. So any practice where you're actually gripping to an outcome, practice this and imagine what it would feel like in your body if you released your grip. So imagine like what full body surrender and releasing the grip feels like. Like I just imagine my whole body just being like, and just releasing. So imagine your body softening. Imagine you being okay right here, right now, not gripping to anything. Imagine what it would feel like if you really honored, really respected, appreciated, loved your body for the amazing vehicle it is. Like step into that, really step into that and imagine what it will feel like. That's the key to getting what we want. To be an energetic match, we need to act as if, bring in the emotions we want to feel at the goal, bring them into the now so that we're an energetic match. That's how our quantum physics law of attraction all works. So I love to do this surrender during either dance or sex. So when I do my daily journaling, I pop on a Spotify playlist and I put my headphones in, it's blaring loud, and I play some songs that really get me into that feeling of what it will feel like to surrender, to be alive, to feel great, to feel like I'm honoring and respecting my body. It's such a powerful, powerful, powerful practice of embodied abundance and embodied surrender. I've been working with a coach on this, and it's been life-changing. It's just been helping to change my energy. We know that when we change our physiology, it changes our energy and our emotions. So there you have it, guys. I just wanted to share with you about releasing the grip, being more here in the now, and ways that you can love on yourself some more by being able to remember that this is a slice of life, honor the gripping or the disempowering thoughts, and then practice releasing, control the gripping by practicing some surrendering exercises and activities. So have a beautiful Wellness Wednesday. Make sure you head over once I put the link in the link tree to grab my new book. It's on my Green Tara Wellness Health Hub and also Green Tara Wellness on Facebook, on my cover photos, to get my new Herbs for Healing ebook. And I will make sure I put that in the link tree so that you have access to that. It's a really simple book on 3 beautiful herbs to help with gut, hormones, and mind healing. Have a beautiful rest of your Wellness Wednesday, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.